Ladies and gentlemen, Violent Games here. Today I'm going to be talking about the future of my channel again. I recently hit 3,000 subscribers, and yeah, I'm having some thoughts on YouTube, and I wanted to share them with you guys and get your feedback. I'm basically going to be talking about the future of my content exclusively. So, like, what I'm doing with current series, what I want to do with future games, things like that. I'm going to go into all of that in this video so you guys know what to expect. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in. But before I do, I want to say thank you to all you guys who've been supporting the channel. Your guys' comments literally have helped me through some hard times lately, and I really appreciate it. I know it sounds kind of bullshit, but yeah, I've had some hard times, and you guys have been very, very helpful. Thank you for your support. So let's talk about some of my ongoing series and as to whether or not I'm going to be continuing those. First off, we have Overwatch. I plan to discontinue Overwatch. It's been a long time coming, guys. I've played the game for a year. I'm really burnt out at this point just because I've played the game so much. And honestly, and this is kind of a personal reason, I'm kind of not liking the direction the community is taking. I don't like the vibe that I get whenever I play an Overwatch game, both in competitive and private scenes. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm genuinely not happy playing that game anymore. So I want to move on to other things. So next series I wanted to discuss was Dishonored 2 Builds and Guides. Will I be continuing this series? The answer is absolutely yes. In fact, I have a few builds actually kind of planned out. We just have to make sure that they make good builds and they're fun and entertaining, and then I can present them to you guys. I really, really appreciate the positive feedback I've gotten recently from the Dishonored 2 videos. It means a lot to me, guys. So, with that being said, Dishonored 2, yeah, you expect more of that. It's been an absolute privilege to produce that content for you guys. Alright, so this next series kind of breaks my heart because of how much I love this game and how I'm probably not going to be able to continue it. And that one is Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods, I think, is fantastic. It's a Game of the Year contender for me, and it's a narrative-only game. Like, really, there isn't a lot of gameplay to be had in the game, but the narrative is just so strong, and the writing is so good. Like, it's a phenomenal game. But as a series on my channel, it's not getting a lot of traction. It kind of failed to take off. It had a decent bump within the first video, but sharply declined after that, and it's a shame. Now, granted, I will still finish the game no matter what, but I wanted to see if anyone in the comments here is personally interested in me continuing the series and is really looking forward to that. If enough people say that they are interested in seeing the series, even if it's like only 100 people watch each time, then I'll be fine with uploading them from then on out. But if it's not gonna, give my channel any bump or any positive, benefit, I can't continue this series when I could have just as much fun just playing on my own time and it not be, an effort, really. I just read it on my own time in my own head. You get what I'm saying. Night in the Woods is kind of demanding, and it'd be better for me to just play it off screen if I'm only going to get a few views for it. And if people on my channel aren't really interested in it, there's no point in me continuing the series. Love the game, though. Like, literally, if you're watching this right now and you love narrative games, go get Night in the Woods. It's absolutely fantastic. It will definitely make your top games of the year if you are into that style of game. No lie. Okay, I'm going to stop kissing the game's ass. It's good. Play some of it. It's wonderful. Lastly, I wanted to talk about another series that didn't take off at all, and that's Paladins. Now, guys, I really enjoyed playing Paladins, and I had full intentions of making guides, builds, and other sorts of content for Paladins, but it just did not take off on the channel, and that's disappointing. I think Paladins really got the shaft on the internet because of Overwatch, in all honesty. I think a lot of people anyways, wrote the game off, and it prevented a lot of good channels from being started. I know there were other channels being created around Paladins, and the game it's just not that popular, and it's really a shame because I think the game has something to offer that Overwatch doesn't, even though they exist in the same genre. I just feel like people didn't give the game a fair chance, and it's disappointing, but I think my efforts are going to be spent better elsewhere. So now that I've covered all of my old series, let's talk about some new series that could potentially come to the channel. So first off, I wanted to ask you guys about Prey, and I'm primarily asking my Dishonored fan base about this because this game is very, very similar to Dishonored. It's got a sci-fi twist, it has a bit more guns, the combat is pretty good, and the build potential is really high. I could definitely do a lot of builds for Prey, similar to the way I did them with Dishonored. The only concern for me, really, is that Prey is more time-consuming than Dishonored. I could crank out like 3 or 4 Dishonored builds before I could do 2 Prey builds. Prey builds are going to be a little more demanding, so I might have to restructure the way I make those builds, especially because the game doesn't have as many fights as far as I'm aware. It's really going to be weird hunting out those fights and displaying this build for all of you. So Prey builds, that's something that could happen in the future. I really want to get your guys' opinion and feedback as to whether or not you'd be interested in watching builds for Prey. Again, it's a game by Arcane Studios. It's wonderful. I think the game is definitely a Game of the Year contender. So let me know if you guys want to see some build-oriented content for Prey. So Prey Guides could be a series I work on immediately. However, there are some games that are going to be coming out later in this year, as well as early next year, that I definitely might think about putting on my channel. Now, as far as what games I'm going to be covering, I honestly don't know completely yet, because there are so many games coming out this year that games like Prey slipped under my radar. Like, I honestly didn't even know what the game was when I finally heard about it. That's how, like, out of the loop I am in terms of, like, mainstream game media and stuff. There's just so many games coming out in 2017 that are high profile and good that there's a lot of potential for me to add new series to the channel. So if there's any games coming out this year that you guys want me to cover or see or do content for, please let me know and I will consider doing them. I can't keep up with all of the stuff. Some of you guys can help be my eyes and ears. But one game that is definitely coming out this year that I will be covering is Death of the Outsider for Dishonored 2. I'm going to have builds for that. You don't even have to worry about that, guys. I'm on it. I love Dishonored. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So you bet your sweet ass that I'm going to be covering it. There's just no reason I wouldn't. It'd be dumb. Alright, so I wanted to briefly just go over the history of Let's Play on my channel. I've done a few Let's Plays in the past. I believe it was Resident Evil 7, Dishonored 2, and to some extent, Night in the Woods. I really enjoy producing Let's Play content. Sorry, people are just moving around. I really like producing Let's Play content. However, my viewers don't seem to enjoy Let's Play content. And I respect your guys' wishes. If you don't want to see Let's Play content, I won't produce it. I just wish that it was something that I could do. I'm thinking of maybe moving that over to Twitch. So say a new release drops and I want to play the release on launch. I'm thinking maybe that's what I'll do Twitch for. However, one concern I have with Twitch is that I don't know if I'm going to build up enough followers for it to matter if I only stream like every once in a while for only 4 hours tops. I don't feel like that's enough. I think the average Twitch stream channel, the successful ones anyways, are 4 to 12 a day, and I can't average that. My schedule's too packed. It's not something that I can do, and furthermore, I think it would be better to start a Twitch channel when my subscriber count was a little higher, so that I have more guaranteed views. There's consistency in what I produce on Twitch. So those are my thoughts on Twitch. I might implement it if, let's just say I'm done with Dishonored 2 builds, Prey builds aren't really working out. Maybe I'll start doing more on Twitch, but it's just an idea. It's not something that I'm sold on yet. It might be something I'll do, like, way later in the future if my channel really blows up, but it's open for discussion. Twitch, you open for discussion, just the thought. Lastly, guys, I was thinking about doing an update series for all of you. Like, on a weekly basis, I just throw in some B-roll footage of video game X, and then I just tell you guys what I'm working on, and how it's going, and when I think it'll be finished. You know, things of that nature I can just talk about, you know, in those little update videos. So let me know if that's interesting to you guys as well. Well, this is Violent Games, signing off. It's been a pleasure.